Of course, everybody's wondering if the Eagles will or will not franchise Deshaun Jackson and Ruben. And let's look at his situation. Let's say the Eagles do decide to franchise him, which we all believe is going to happen. Should they just stick with the one-year franchise, or do they still need to consider signing him to a long-term deal?
I don't think there's any question they're going to try as hard as they can to try to sign him to a long-term deal before the franchise tag window ends. I think that's the ideal situation for everybody. Nobody wants to be franchised. You say, well, $10 million almost guaranteed, sounds great, but you're really just putting the problem off and creating more problems for yourself. I think that they're going to try to sign him to a long-term deal over the next couple of weeks, and it'll never come to the whole franchise tag thing. I think that's the ideal scenario. If not, you franchise him, and you hope that you extend that window where you can sign him. And listen, the guy's a good player, and you got to try to keep your good players, right? So I think that with all the talk there's been and all the issues he had last year, dropping all the touchdowns, missing the meeting, getting suspended for the Arizona game, the bottom line is you're a better team with Deshaun than without Deshaun. And hopefully they realize that. Hopefully they understand his value, stretching the field, all those big plays his first few years. That's not going to go away. He's still the same guy. Last year was just was one of those years where it was bad for everybody. So I think the ideal thing is you lock him up for the long term, and Deshaun Jackson stays an Eagle.
Well, hypothetically speaking, and we assume that a lot of the big-name wide receivers out there that could be free agents are going to be franchised or signed. And there's a huge list, an intriguing list. But if they could somehow, some way, get one of the Vincent Jackson, Robert Meachams, Mark Colston, Reggie Waynes, Dwayne Bowe, would you let Deshaun walk then?
If it was me, knowing how close Michael Vick and Deshaun are, they're like brothers, knowing the connection that they have on the field and off the field, I would make Deshaun my priority. Now, if he was going to walk, if you're going to franchise him and trade him, or he'll sign elsewhere, out of those guys, Vincent Jackson would be my guy. Mm-hmm. He's got the size, he's got the speed, he's productive, he's a big-time player. And there's some good guys on that list, but Vincent Jackson would be at the top on my list. Deshaun, plus the Eagles would like it because they wouldn't have to change his nameplate.
Absolutely.
They save a few bucks there, just have Jackson up there. I think Deshaun would be my number one guy out of that whole group. And guys have bad years sometimes. Yeah. And he had a bad year, but I think the kid really wants to excel. Andy likes him. He likes Andy. He wants to be here. I think they want him here. So I think it'll work out.
All right. For Reuben Frank, I'm Derek Gunn at CSNPhilly.com.